welcome to Picking Brains. And as I said literally a minute ago, with 2 minutes, here we are. We have Kent Scareground with us. My name's Charlie, but you already know that. We also have Meg. And do you guys want to introduce yourself?
Yep, sure. My name's Lee.
I'm Paige. I'm Gemma.
And I'm Charlotte.
Hi, so welcome guys. Boom, we're straight into it. So you guys are opening up this Halloween. You're one of the few places that are actually opening up. I'd be interested to find out, what's that been like for you? Have you planned, how you're going to deal with the kind of COVID regulations? But we'll start off with just, how did you make that decision of your opening up? And I can see chat, they're telling me I'm going game show, so I'm gonna chill it down. So how did you decide that you were gonna open up this Halloween?
Charlotte, you want to go?
No, you go.
So we had a meeting at a large event centre talking about another event that we were putting on because we've had success with obviously the Madhouse Margate Scare Maze. Won some awards, and then we also ran another Winter Wonderland event. So we were quite comfortable with, putting groups of people through a different room environment based on our premises. We lost the premises a couple of years ago, and we took a break last year and worked on another event. From the meeting at the event centre, we just said it would be good to bring the Scare Maze here, and once we mentioned the Halloween event, the event organizer sort of lady, the management team, were very keen on it. So then it was just sort of thrashing out how that would work from ticket sales and rental and all that stuff. And we managed to thrash out a good deal, and we've literally got the contracts and they're being signed. So it's all sort of booked in and all systems go.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
so
amazing.
That's good. I heard the event centre, you posted it on Facebook. It's 1,700 square metres big?
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, that's perfect then, isn't it?
It's good for COVID. It's good for COVID.
It
Well,
definitely
actually,
is.
we're probably in the 3,000 square metre foot hall now because I think the venue are very supportive of it, and we looked at the sizes, the 2 metre distancing and all that stuff, and we ramped the numbers right down. Still would have made it definitely viable for us to do it and quite exciting and increase our numbers to what we're used to. But I think they've realised as well that it's probably going to be quite successful.
Yeah.
They looked for a scare company a few years ago. So it just everything just seemed to work out. COVID caused their events to cancel, which opened up dates and opportunities. And then, we turned up with a ready-made business model and, sort of understood the industry quite well. And yeah, it's just worked out really well. COVID's been terrible for sure, but it seems to be, something positive for us that's coming out of it.
Well, that is really nice to hear that, something good has come out of it. I expect you were quite gutted about the timings of, everything going on. But let's go back to the beginning, before COVID even existed. Let's forget about that, because I'm sure everyone is sick and tired of hearing about COVID all the time. So how did you guys start? You guys are a family-run maze, right? I'm quite interested in, how does it go in the family, and yeah.
Should we get Paige to do this then?
Yeah, go for it. Don't worry, no one will bite.
Okay, I'm ready. Okay, basically, these three, Charlotte, Gemma and Dad, they just love scare mazes. They literally, every Halloween, just everyone they could get to, they used to go to them. And they've always wanted to do, we've always wanted to do a scare maze thing. And then one year we just decided, let's just do it. Let's just go for it and see what happens and just do it. And we did it. I don't know what else to say.
No, we already had a space, in our family. We kind of owned this facility, so we had the space to do something, and we just didn't know what to do. And then the idea sort of came. I originally did it to pay for my Africa trip for school because I wanted to go to Africa, so I did it for that. But yeah, it was just sort of an idea, and then we were just oh, you know what, let's just have a go. But yeah, Dad, any more?
Yeah, I think it really surprised us as well, because when you're behind the scenes and you're building these things, you don't realise they're quite as scary or as intimidating as they might be. And I think when Scarecon Michael Bolton first visited us, popped into the venue, you would walk into what you think was a community hall and a function room. You would not even know that the Scare Maze existed.
Oh, wow.
Apart from Halloween sign and or something, because we actually took them out of the building. We brought them in through the back door. They crawled underneath the stage. They walked on top of the gantry. We built a false floor, both above and around. So when you came back into the hall, you're like, where was that then? Where's the tunnel? What happened there?
He's constantly going up and down stairs, like, where am I?
And we learned some along that progress as well. We, created routes for people to escape that weren't happy. And, those doors were constantly being busted open with people coming out, crying or upset or scared or couldn't go any further. And yeah, it was absolutely crazy the first year for sure. And it definitely taught us that it's something that we were good at. And obviously we got for the best scare in Europe for that year. So, we've sort of grown from there.
Nice. Well, I love that.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So, leading on from the Scar Awards, how did it feel when you actually won?
Oh yeah.
I think we cried, didn't we? Because we literally, I think, because for us, like, obviously we put everything into it, and back at our little venue, like, very little actually came back out of it for us. So for us, it was just like passion. So that first year, like, we kind of started it a little bit late, and it was all just like go for so long, and we didn't expect it to be good. And then suddenly, like, we were getting all these incredible reviews and nominations, and then when we won the award, it was just kind of like, whew, like that it worked.
Like all your hard work paid off. Yeah.
It was just so nice, because obviously all of us as a family as well. It's good to like go through something like that with your family.
That's so sweet. Sorry, we just had a comment saying, how good would it be if you made a fake exit and they just walked out and it was just another maze? That would be so mean, yet so fantastic.
So good.
Yeah. But that's just so lovely. I know we definitely cried when we won our Scar Awards. Not at all due to the fact that, drinking at Scare Awards doesn't happen. No. But yeah, it's a lovely feeling, especially when you put all that hard work into it. You mentioned, like you said, because it's all together as a family, and I read a couple of the Scare Award Scare Tour reviews. You have child actors working at your Scare Maze. How does that work out? I'm assuming, like, is it people from your family, or do you have like people that come and do it externally?
No, so we're like me and my little sister, we're performers. So and my mum and dad both came from that world as well. So we're kind of all used to like children in shows and like chaperoning and things like that. So we didn't really realise that no one else used children. So because for us it's like a Scare Maze is like a show. So we were like, let's have like children. Obviously both me and Paige when we started were children. So for us to be in it, obviously we had our friends, we had like family friends that had kids. It kind of just like worked. And then like we had such a good review from that, because people are so scared of children. Like,
they are.
And we like, especially when they're really good children and they stay in character, like we get so many comments about that. Like it's completely terrifying. And if you go in a room on your own with like some 6-year-old child, like not even that young, like 10-year-old child, like asking to hold your hand, like that's terrifying in itself. But we really like it, because again it's just that family like environment. Even though it's terrifying, it's also just a really nice environment to like work in.
That's so nice having like friends and family like doing it. I guess it definitely makes it like homely. But oh my god, I tell you, I couldn't do a maze with it. I'd freak out. Like all the horror movies I've ever seen, if I saw a kid down the hallway, I'd run the opposite direction.
Turn and run in the other direction. No.
Got a couple comments. People are quite excited to either go visit or go work there. So it sounds like there's a lot of people excited. And I'm not 10 years of age. I'm 20 years of age, chat. And although because basically in our events I used to basically just play the creepy zombie child all the time. So unfortunately I'm just now known as a little baby roaming around. But yeah, so have you got any idea of what your mazes are going to be this year? Do you have any insight? Is it all secret?
We know.
Oh.
We know. No, we are going to be releasing them gradually throughout September. So that's going to be quite fun. We're not going to release them yet, but there will be 4. We're saying 4 for now.
Okay.
Just going through, like, obviously we've still got to think about like COVID and numbers and things like that. So 4 is our number at the moment, but they are brand new themes, like we've never done them. We've tried to go for themes that no one else does as well. So hopefully, like, you'll see the themes and be like, oh, I never thought you would do a scare maze like that, because we kind of like to do that as well.
Yeah.
We don't want to just do, like the first things that come to us. We kind of then push them aside and are like, no, what else could we do? But yeah. It's a secret.
Oh, is there
Nice.
no teasers at all? I know people in chat are dying.
There are some clues on our Instagram.
Oh,
like, you probably could. I think that's all right to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would say there's clues in our branding at the moment.
I love that. Well, I've seen your TikTok videos, because I'm a bit obsessed with TikTok right now. And
Me too.
I'm loving those TikTok videos, especially the last one. Whoever was dancing, that I can't figure out. That's incredible. I loved it. I was just like, I want to learn that dance. It's really good. So, building these mazes, do you build them all yourself, or do you bring people in to build it?
No, we build it ourselves. We've gradually grown the team, and the input into how the build is happening has got better and better. My background from taking this facility on that we had, I sort of kitted that out. We put a new bar in there, a staircase, a mezzanine floor, and then we built the Winter Wonderland and changed all the rooms into compartments, and then that turned into the scare maze. So it's just sort of naturally evolved, and it's evolved through sort of scraps and charity, in all honesty, because owning a building company, I'd have projects and then I'd suddenly have 400 panels to use, have a sink that was being or a kitchen. But, our scare mazes, were built on recycled kitchens that people were ripping out. We were putting them in there, and our Winter Wonderland did that as well. We gave cookies in a kitchen that had been ripped out from someone's a project a couple of months prior. So
wow.
We do sound like we're a bit of hoarders and that, but we definitely and get the most out of it for sure, because it just all adds up. And this year in particularly, because of upscaling from a small-ish venue to a much larger venue, there are some challenges that we've never faced before. Getting out times and logistics and all that. So there's lots of lessons to be learned, but luckily you probably see that the family has got more into it now.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you go years, these guys weren't really old enough or confident enough to sort of be doing stuff.
I think he disagrees.
I disagree, but that's fine.
As things have developed, they got more vocal and they have more say, so it's become much more easier.
Oh, well, that's good then. And I'm so jealous of the amount of stuff that you were just able to get recycled.
That just sounds amazing. How you can
charity
put
shops
all of this stuff
incredible.
together.
Oh,
incredible!
Wow.
Yeah, I
all
remember.
of our costumes, charity shops.
Yeah,
because they're
like
amazing. Real old clothes.
It does.
We walked into the room last week and picked up 20 rolls of carpet. It's just ridiculous. What is it for?
That's insane.
So yeah, it's very interesting.
I'm really so shocked, because we did a scare maze at Newbury Racecourse, and trying to find all the material to turn a hall into a escape room was just so hard. So it's so good that you've been able to find everything as easy as that. But yeah, definitely gonna check out charity stores next time. That's gonna be number one.
Definitely
on my list.
Yeah. So, in regards to your scare mazes, have each of you got one in particular that you've loved the most?
What, like a year?
Yeah, from whichever
a
year
or
reckon.
a specific maze across the board.
Yeah, so for me, I think the fun house was definitely the best, because it was literally built from scratch, and then we learned how to do things differently. Whereas the other rooms, they're all built within the building, so most of the walls were already part of the structure. So the fun house was definitely the best, but I did enjoy the very last year.
2018.
Studio.
I wasn't there.
Studio. Because he wasn't there. Yeah, Dad decided he was going to go on tour. He actually went on tour with Flawless, so he worked as their stage manager.
Oh, wow.
He decided that, like, when did you make that decision?
November. Yeah.
November.
Oh no, September. Sorry, September.
Oh yeah, not November. Everyone's like, oh, what? So yeah, we had to sort of build it without Dad, which was interesting.
That's cool. So are you is father the head of it all? No. Oh, who is it? I see some disputes going on.
Everyone's like,
who would you say is in control, or would you reckon it's a family effort together?
No one would be able to do it on their own, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I would.
You could tell them.
This year it's been very like everyone's been doing a lot more, like Dad said. I would say I just like I like tell people what to do, but I don't do it. Like they do a lot. Like Paige does all of the like content side of everything. Gemma does all of like writing all of our like written content and everything, and painting the maze and everything. And then Dad does all the building, and then Mum's probably the boss. She's not in the camera, so
on the side, giving the side eye. Yeah, yeah. You each have a nice role. I love that though. Yeah, I definitely guess that will kind of come from, you know, working together as a family. You know,
we all have our little areas. We're all just kind of got our own little like areas that we do well in, and then it kind of just works for some reason.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I really like that. That's really awesome. So I guess now we'll go into, you know, kind of how you guys are actually opening this Halloween. Do you have like any guidelines in place? Like, what are people going to expect when they come to your mazes? What kind of rules do they have to follow by?
Jem?
So obviously we've got the track and trace that you have to fill out before you come in, and obviously hands. There'll be sanitising stations throughout the event, and then before each maze and after each maze. Throughout each maze there'll be tape on the floor that will mark out where you have to stay within, because that will mark what, for our actors, they have to stay 2 meters away from that, so they'll have a separate marker that they can't come between, so there'll always be a gap between. If there's not a gap between them, there'll be a clear perspex sheeting, what you call it? Like sheeting, so that you can have that closer encounter without that of transmission or whatever. That's pretty much it.
I think we're going to, obviously everyone's going to have to wear masks in it. That's it, mandatory. From the virtual scare conference that we had, one of the mazes picked up that if there's no mask, no scare. And then how we police it within the mazes as well, and that's something we're going to talk to the team and discuss. You know how we can deal with that and just make sure that everybody's safe. Yeah. We are also doing potentially. Did we say temperature check? So coming into the building, there probably more than likely will be a temperature check, just as like the last resort of defence before they get into the mazes. Yeah. We are considering that once they are in the building as such, because it's covered. They stay there until they complete all the mazes and they leave and they don't come back in. But this is
there's no like hanging around.
Dwell time is definitely not. The thing is, because we've never concentrated on secondary spend that much, so a lot of the parks, you know, have secondary spend. They have areas where 200 or 300 people gather and have food courts and all that sort of stuff, and they want to promote that dwell time. We've never experienced that, so a downturn in additional secondary spend is new spend for us. So we do have we do have people that are coming, and we are telling them the numbers that we're expecting, and we get a concession from that. So we have potential income from it, but it's not something that we've ever had before. So it's not something that is making our decisions. You know, it's not. And I know from the Scare conference thing that secondary spend is going to be hit. You know, it is, because you can't promote dwell time. You can't promote people to hang around because the numbers just increase and all that and all that and all that. If it's outside, it's slightly different, for sure. And we will want to promote them to sort of be around the food area. I think potentially maybe outside, or there may be an area where they can go and smoke or, you know, stand outside the building. But it's an interesting year in that we can't. Whilst we've always wanted people to stay before, we sort of stay now. But we know, you know, we don't spend all night at scare parks unless it's really busy. You can't get through all the mazes. You know, normally people hour and a half, 2 hours, and they want something else to do. So, it's going to be a huge learning curve for sure. We're definitely a year ahead of those that have chosen not to do it.
I think as well, because we're used to like being in a much smaller venue. Our numbers have never been excessive, like, because it's physically wasn't possible, and we've always put people in like groups of 4. Like we did groups of 4 for the last 2 years.
I saw that on your the review page.
So all of like the going in your bubbles and being in small groups, we're kind of used to that. And time slots, we've always done time slots because of the size of the venue. We couldn't have everyone arrive at once. So that side of everything, it's kind of a little bit similar for us. So like Dad said, we're kind of just going a bit bigger for us. So hopefully it's not going to be too crazy.
I mean, it sounds like, you know, with the size of your venue that you had last time, that you are quite, you know, used to doing in these time slots. So it sounds like it's going to work pretty well. And I know a couple things that may have worried some people about, you know, who are running the attractions is footfall, how they're going to cover the costs of things, you know, because of reducing footfall. Is that a thing you're concerned about, reduced in footfall at all?
No, not at all. We have done a very accurate budget based on the amount of turnover, and then we literally divided that by 2, so it was 50% of a very accurate one, and that's not even the worst case scenario. We then readjusted it down even lower because of the size of the hall and the 2-meter distancing, and it still sort of covers costs. So, you know, worst case scenario, if we were to only get maybe like 100 people a night, which is a ridiculously low figure in the scheme of things, it's sort of similar to our numbers that we're used to. Then clearly we're doing something wrong. Clearly it's in the wrong location, and clearly people don't like that industry. But we know that's not the case. We know there are people screaming. We've not had any problems with actors. We've got lots of other parks around us that we're trying to keep contact with because they're not opening, and we want to promote them during our event for them next year and so on, because it is all about collaboration. I think one thing that COVID has definitely taught people, it's more how you work with other people rather than against other people.
Definitely.
One of the reasons that attracts us to the scare industry and the escape game industry as well, funnily enough, because they're quite collaborative groups of people. They know once a person's been to one scare or escape game, they want to go somewhere else. They want to find something else. And, you know, hopefully it's going to be tough this year. But they only come to us once and they see all our stuff, and then they've got nothing else to do. So if we can push them somewhere else, that's great. If we can't, we can definitely say next year, listen, you know, go to Broaditch down the road, or go to Tully's, or, you know, come back to Margate. And, you know, there's just lots of things to push people around to.
Yeah, that's really good then. So on the topic of actors, you're currently running auditions now, aren't you? Or you're ready to open for auditions. How have you been running them? Is it like online, or is it like in a big thing? Do they send in videos?
Charlotte,
yeah, so we've done we've actually just held our 4 face-to-face auditions, which have been really, really fun. They were literally last Sunday and the Sunday before, but now we're doing online auditions for anyone that was a bit late to the party or anything, and like people that couldn't make those dates because they were a little bit last minute because we had to go like with the venue and stuff. So yeah, people who want to audition now, we're just asking for a short video of them talking a little bit about them and like their background, I guess, and why they sort of want to do it. And then we've sort of given them 4 different characters to pick from, and then just if they can send a video of them just portraying that character, like it doesn't have to be like intense or anything, you don't have to dress up, but just so that we can kind of see a little bit about who they are and how they like handle themselves, I guess. And yeah, they can just email that over.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic to hear then. So it's good that, you know, you can have the video online and face to face for people who are able to do both. Yeah. Meg, did you have any questions at all?
Yeah. So after this year, have you got any maze ideas that you would love to make a reality?
Ooh.
Make a reality.
Like as in make them happen.
Yeah, like if you have like a
so
dream
if you've got an idea
now, maybe next.
What would you
year.
want to make happen?
Yeah, but that as a secret as well.
Oh, another secret.
Oh.
No, so we've gone through a lot of ideas over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
And I think it is really worrying because we do have some stuff that no one has ever touched or gone near or done before. I just do not want to release it because
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
no, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I get really excited.
You get too excited.
But we're just learning to just hold on 1 second, because the impact is much better than the telling someone and then someone else goes and does it and it's like, hold on 1 second, we mentioned that. You know, so yeah, there are some ridiculously
In a few years, it's going to get like we've got some exciting ideas.
Yeah.
It's just like sort of getting there and working our way up.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited to
that
find
sounds
out about
good.
these. I'm gonna be on your Facebook
Yeah.
every day
Yeah.
now in September. What's the
Really
new one?
exciting.
Yeah.
If you follow it too close, you'll probably catch my odd mistake post, and so
Yeah.
they're reining me in a little bit. I'm trying to stem the excitement.
Yeah, I know how it feels when there's like a secret that
Yeah.
you're not allowed to tell.
We do.
You know, we've had a couple of
Yeah.
events where it's like, don't tell anyone, this is what's happening, and you're like, but it's so cool.
I know.
I feel your
It's
pain.
like you want to tell everybody because it's so amazing, but you can't, and you have to keep it tight-lipped
Yeah,
until you can
Dad's
say
always
something.
like, can't keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, I can't keep my mouth shut either. I'm going to admit it, but I'm doing okay so far. Anyway,
Yeah.
So initially, what was the main inspiration for your event?
This one or initially like
Like at the very start, what was your inspiration for starting?
I think it was just we'd done so many theme parks, and then suddenly, you know, started to go to the actual scare mazes, and just sort of thought, you know, we could smash this without a doubt. This is something that we enjoy. And I think if you read the review of the first year, we literally put everything into it. And it's funny how it sort of evolved, because ScareCon came to Margate, I think, the year before we went live.
Yeah.
Or same year, I can't remember. And I mixed with a few people and actually took them to the venue, because it was in Dreamland and we were just up the road. And they came to the venue, they walked around, and they actually reversed the maze for us because of walking upstairs instead of downstairs, and these things that we'd never experienced before. We took that on board and followed their lead, and then did the event. And then the review talks about sort of everything thrown at it. We had loads of different, like, we want to do this, and we never really had a story around it, apart from the fact that it was like a madhouse, and we had, you know, issues with our backstory, and that got changed, and we sort of got better, and you know, dealt with all of those problems associated with it, and learned some lessons from that. But as years have gone by now, we know there has to be a particular theme. There has to be a good backstory. There has to be a theme that everybody can grab hold of as a character, so they know what they're doing or portraying, and then trying to tell that story as quickly as possible in 15 minutes while scaring the hell out of people is quite hard and challenging, but ultimately it is about scaring people, and that's our biggest drive. They have to be scared when they leave. They have to have jumped. They have to have experienced something, and that's really difficult, balancing the sort of theatre storyline and telling it time you go into the time. So that's, I think we're learning to get better at that for sure. But
we put quite a lot of focus on the story as well, because our feedback from some mazes was always, because once you've sort of done a lot of mazes, you do find it's kind of the same sort of thing, and that's what we did the first year, like the same sort of thing. And then we kind of just like, we're like, oh, we need to do something different, like not what you'd expect. So it is about being scared, but rather than just like a jump scare, like an initial like jump, it's more, we create more of like an environment that freaks the hell out of you, I guess. I think we're all just quite like creative people. We always do stuff as a family, so it was just kind of an opportunity to just do something all as a family. I think because we're all into it, so why not do it?
And pay for your trip to Africa as well.
And go to Africa.
I love that. Did you go to Africa in the end?
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that.
Wow. Sounds good.
That's good. Yeah. So now I really need to go. So hopefully I'm gonna
sounds so good.
book a hotel to Kent, and in fact one of my friends lives in Kent. I might see if I can sneakily visit his house and spend a weekend in Kent. Yeah, I'm really excited because it's opening 25th of October to 1st of November. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And I'm super excited to go. And hopefully my heart rate will go to 169 beats per minute, like Seattle did. That's quite an achievement. Aren't I in Kent? No, I'm not in Kent. I'm across the sea from Kent, which no longer have a port, right? So you can't go over the little sea bit from Essex to Kent, unless there is a boat that can go there. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I apparently heard that the ports round about Margate, Kent, like burnt down or something, and that's why I couldn't get from Essex to Kent. Someone's telling me lies. I'm fuming. I'm gonna talk to my friend from Kent.
Why don't you just drive over
Who's
the
been
bridge?
lying?
It's a pretty. I'm gonna have strong words. Because I bet it's just him telling me that I can't visit. It's his nice way of going, nah, don't come here. But yeah, if anyone has any more questions in the chat, let us know. But other than that, I think, that it's been great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And
Have we got quick time for the game?
If you have the game available, Meg, then yes,
I actually have it
Page's
here.
face is like,
Prepared.
I know, that's what I said.
prepared.
So-
Amazing.
So here we have One Fateful Night version 2. So I'll let you see the board. That's it here. So
Okay.
the premise is, over the past week, you've not been the best of people. You have been watching cursed videotapes. You have been doing everything under the sun, doing Ouija boards, summoning demons, playing the weed, doing all of that stuff. You are in big trouble. Something is after you.
Right.
So, first up, you need to decide whether you will run, fight, or hide. But you won't know who you are running, hiding, or fighting.
Mystery.
So, all of those, behind those are little characters, horror characters. You'll pick one, and then I'll spin this, and you will get a weapon. Now, that weapon could be anything from a Disney song to a holy substance. So, some of these don't really work against the villain. Some of them will.
We've had Disney songs work before purely because
We have.
they've sung the song and we thought it was 10 out of 10. So
Yeah.
it really depends.
So you never know.
But
You never know. You might get a point.
That if
So,
you get a Disney
wait,
song.
wait. Yeah. So
Go on,
if
Paige.
you kind of knock out the villain, don't quite kill him, you'll get 1 point. But if you completely KO the villain, you get 2 points. And there's 2 nights to survive.
If you
So-
survive the night, you get to ask one of us any question you want. If you die, we have a quick fire round that we can ask you guys. Because there are quite a lot of you, what we're going to do is going to do one person. So who wants to be the representative? Oh yes,
Probably.
I'm ready for this. Okay, let's go for it then, Meg.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Do you want to go first, Charlie, to show me how it's done?
I don't mind. Let's go for it. I'll go first to show
Okay.
you how it's kind of
Do you
done.
want to run, fight, or hide?
I'm gonna fight.
Fight.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So I've put your little initial there. So can you see all the everything here?
Yes. There you go.
So pick a card, any card.
I'll go for the 5 blood dots, please.
5. Where are you?
Who have I got?
Okay. You have Norman Bates.
Oh, he's cool because he's just human. I can just slap him really hard.
He is.
You just slapped me.
So anything that can kill a human will help you here. So I'm just going to drop that down. Can you see that okay?
Yeah. Right. Let's see.
Spin that. You got a machete.
Oh, perfect. Just-
KO, 2 points.
I've never lost. Well, I have. I've lost a
Okay.
couple times, but yeah. Right.
So you survive to the next night, Charlie?
Booyah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Run, fight, or hide.
What are you gonna go for? Yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
No, fuck
Hide. Okay then, Paige. That's absolutely fine. Which one are you gonna go for?
The heart one with the drop
The
underneath.
heart?
Yeah.
The drops underneath.
Yeah, that
You got
one.
it.
Cool.
Who have you got? You've got Samara.
Oh.
I
Oh.
don't know. I can't feel about that.
You've been watching cursed videotapes.
Oh no.
Okay.
Right, let's see how this goes then. If you're hiding, you definitely don't
So-
want a Disney song. That's probably.
Ideally,
I
you need
would-
time travel to undo their making, or Hail Mary, which is an instant win. So
Oh yeah.
you've got the ability to astral project, that's not really going to help you in this situation, I don't think.
Me?
She's like, what does astral project mean?
So, astral projection is when you're asleep, your spiritual body leaves your physical body and you can travel in the spirit world.
Whoa.
It's a bit
That's-
crazy. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that's going to work against.
Not very helpful.
Is she a demon?
No.
What is she? Like a?
Yeah, she's a demon coming out of a videotape coming for you.
Okay, yeah, demon. Is that a KO or is
You
that
might- I don't know.
are you hidden?
Would you be able to avoid her? To be fair, if you're quiet, she doesn't know where you are, and then your body astral projects, you might be all right. So I'm going to give you 1 point for that one. You've survived the night.
Survived so far. I guess it does depend where you're hiding. That's very true.
Yeah. All right then, Charlie, your turn again. Run, fight, or hide.
Gonna fight, you know it, all the way through.
Fight again.
Till my dying
Okie
breath.
smoky. Okie doke. Oh crap. Oh, we'll just forget that one.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll go for the 1 blood drop, please.
1 blood drop. Where are you?
Let's see who I've got. Who have I got?
Michael
Freddy
Bolton.
Krueger.
Oh my goodness. Also, hello, Michael Bolton. How are you doing? We're just
Hello.
playing the famous game.
Okay, Freddy Krueger.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh,
now I
boy.
need to fight him. Can I wake up? Hello, can I pinch myself?
You got time travel to undo their making. You can do as much as you want to him, but you probably might just scrape it.
Right, let's see.
Right,
Fingers
let's spin
crossed.
That's dead in the middle of gun and Hail Mary, so I'm gonna have to spin that again.
Oh, you could have just given me a Hail Mary and I could have walked away
You've
from
got,
this.
I know, but you've got a shotgun. So, That's probably gonna temporarily disable him.
yeah.
So I'll give you 1 point.
I'm quite pleased with that. All right.
So
I
you've got
lived.
3 points in total.
I lived. Right,
You
final
survived.
round. Final round to
It's fine,
see whether you
survived.
survive or die.
Go on, Paige.
Right. Run, fight, or hide.
Fight.
Oh yes.
Fight. So, who will you be fighting? Take your pick.
The 3 blood drops.
3. Okay,
Yeah.
smokes.
Alright.
And you are up against Valak the Defiler.
Louis.
Oh,
Louis, that's what I said.
Valak.
Louis.
Oh boy.
Oh, more demons.
So, there's a couple of things that might help you here. We've got Ed and Lorraine Warren. We have time travel to undo their making. We have a Hail Mary, a holy substance. There's a few things that will help you in this situation.
I need to watch the film. Who is? Did Ed?
Ed and Lorraine Warren, the Conjuring franchise.
The people? Yes, I've seen one Annabelle film. I need to watch more.
Oh no. It's
Oh.
a Disney song.
Oh my god. That's not gonna work.
It's a Disney song.
It's not
Sing
gonna
it.
Let it go.
work. You can sing a Disney song if you want, and that may convince me.
I'll give you a point if you do it.
You don't have to though.
No.
You don't.
Yes, solid. I love
Yep.
it. That's gotta get a
2
point.
points. So that will add you to the leaderboard.
So while Meg's gonna work out the leaderboard,
Well, Saz has the leaderboard,
Oh.
so
we'll find out the leaderboard. Never mind.
and post it.
Yes, but now that you've survived, you've won the night. You can ask any question you fantasize, whichever question you want, to one of us, and we will answer it. So it can be
Yes.
anything you like.
What question?
Come on, girls.
Charlotte's frozen.
Well done.
Oh,
Charlotte's frozen.
yeah, I think maybe Frozen. But do you guys have a question at all?
I
I don't have a question. I can't think of any.
Any question, scare related, horror related, anything.
How long have you
Oh,
guys associated with the scare industry?
3
Okay.
years for me. Meg?
1 year. 1 year.
Oh, a little baby. Little baby scare actor.
You're the baby scare actor that just had her first anniversary last week.
A rookie. Rookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But slowly growing, slowly growing. Well, it's been so fantastic talking to you guys, and I really appreciate you coming on, talking with us. It's been really, really great. I seriously wish you the best of luck for this Halloween, and
Yes.
I know definitely a couple people in chat are going to be there. I definitely want to be there.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so it's been fantastic. This episode should hopefully go live. We'll stay on Facebook or go on to YouTube. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.